321 Thompson Drive is still the shelter operation for displaced persons.
Once again, looking at the big picture here, the overall number of deaths in these Texas floods now stands at 190 dead. We're now told there are 176 people who are still missing. Now, of that, just in Kerr County alone, we're told there are 95 people dead and 161 people missing. Again, that is just in Kerr County. And of the 95 people dead there are 59 adults deceased and 36 children who are deceased. You heard the Kerrville police chief talking about what some of his officers had to go through, waking up early Friday morning, seeing the flooding everywhere, the flooding which trapped people on islands, seeing people trapped on their roofs, calling out to them, hang on, we'll get to you when we get a chance. They're now in the Q&A phase where you heard the Kerrville mayor say yesterday's press conference did not go well. There were a lot of media yelling questions at them, wanting to know exactly what happened in the early morning hours when this flooding broke out. He asked those reporters to please raise your hand and do it like a first grader would, as he described. There were questions about when the red alert first went out, when the flooding first kicked off on Independence Day. A reporter talking about a report that came out that said there were 6 hours that passed when that red alert was initially requested by a volunteer fire department and when that red alert actually went out and happened. Now, you heard the Kerr County Sheriff there say, unfortunately, he doesn't have answers for them. Bear with us. They're going to do an after-action report. He says they're not hiding from anything. They're not wilting away from questions. But they just don't have answers for it right now. So we're going to keep tabs on this press conference, but the headline there, 119 dead in Texas, 176 still missing. That number of missing in particular is jaw-dropping as that number exploded since yesterday. This time yesterday morning, we were at 40 missing. That has now shot up significantly to 176. We'll continue to keep tabs on the state of Texas.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. The name of this lesson is Texas Floods. Death roll rising, the judgment of the Lord. Okay, the Lord is sending his spirits of vengeance. You see the death toll, keeps rising, and now about over 119, unalive. Okay, so the Lord is the one who doing these things. The Lord do these things. Okay, so let's go into the precepts. Okay, let's get this precept here. This is Isaiah 45 and verse 7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Okay, the Lord is not only a God of good, he also a God of evil too. Okay, the Lord controls both sides. And we know, these devils too, with their heart machine. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay? So, and even if it's them, doing, creating flood and whatnot, is the Lord who controlling them. Okay? Let's get this another precept. This is the book of Psalm 17 and verse 13. It says, Arise, O Yahbashim Yahushai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, the Lord is using these devils. Okay, they are the Lord's sword on the left hand side. Okay, so the Lord is the one who doing these things. Okay, the Lord, is sending the floods. Okay, this is Isaiah 28 verse Isaiah 28 verse here. This is Isaiah 28 verse 2. It says, Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. Okay, you know, all these things is the spirits created for vengeance, you know. Okay, the storm, the Lord has his way in the storm. Okay. Okay, you know, and these devils too, you know, there's be with the planes flying into the eye of the storm, you know, and dropping ice, dry ice into the storm, and you know, flying back out to increase the storm energy, you know. Okay, but all this is of the Lord. Okay, okay, the Lord is doing the judgment. Let's go to the let's go into the Apocrypha. Okay, let's get this is the book of Sirach 39 verse 28. This is the book of Sirach chapter 39 verse 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these things were created for vengeance. Okay, the Lord sending these things for judgment. Okay. Lord sending these things for judgment. You know, the Lord don't care, you know, about no woman, you know, or young girls, okay, or babies, you know. The Lord is gonna send you your judgment. Okay. Let's go back into the Blue Letter Bible. Let's get this precept here. This is the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the earth. Okay, the men who cry, you know, is the prophets. Okay, you know, okay, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5. Unto the others he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man, upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary, then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Okay, okay, so the Lord don't care. Okay, the Lord don't care about babies or women or nothing. Okay, He gonna give you a judgment. Let's go back. Let's go into the Apocrypha. Go back in the Apocrypha here. Okay, this is okay, this is 2nd Ezra 16 verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Okay, verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, all are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay, so because you sin, the Lord is sending judgment. Okay, send judgment. Okay, so I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Wa Abad Babal Shalom.